How's it going, Forex traders? Joshua, that's more someone, guys. I'm back on your screen. I'm back on YouTube again. You already know what time it is, guys. You know it is peep o'clock. Oh, that actually sounds great. It is peep o'clock, guys. Peep o'clock, man, guys. I'm back on your screen once again. My name is Desmond Samuel, and so good to have you guys on here again, man. Been really busy. I didn't think I would actually want to make a video today, but it just happened. All right, just so happened that I'm making a video today. All right, so well, we've had a very eventful week so far. We had the FOMC interest rate decisions, and then we also had the NFPR. So those two events really moved the market. As it stands right now, every single thing in the market is now stabilized, and then from next week, that's going into this week, the market will now start to move, accordingly. All right. So, and I have this principle that I'm not really a big fan of trading on news days, because I feel like I don't like to open new trades on news days, because I feel like my entries will be too close to stop loss, and with these news events you really do not know what's going to come out in the news. All right, so the candlestick might just spike and then get me out of a profitable trade, you get me? So that's why I'm not really a big fan. I don't even advocate for anybody to try and trade on a news day. All right, those of you guys who are actually now, I'm not bashing your strategy. If it works for you, that's fine, but for me personally, I just don't like the idea of trading fundamentals. I don't like it, because the market, listen, you need to understand that the technical analysis pretty much paints the overall narrative of the market. So say for instance now that the market was actually supposed to move from point A to point B, yeah, and let's say that moving from point A to point B is gonna take what, a month or two, or maybe 2 weeks, or maybe 3 days. All right, what fundamental does for you is that it just makes it happen a lot faster. It creates volatility. It doesn't necessarily change the overall perspective of things, you get me? So those of you guys that always think that, oh, that the fundamentals come and then change things, is not always the case. Yeah, the technical analysis will always, hold on guys, I think I got something in my eye. So the technical analysis always paints the overall picture, and then the fundamentals always make it happen a lot faster. So a trade that was supposed to take you what, 3 weeks, all right, a month to actually capitalize and mature, you might have that happen in like a week, or maybe 2-3 days. All right, take for instance now the tariff period, where I came on here to let you guys know what I was actually looking at. Technically speaking, the market was already giving us a double top on S&P 500 before they even announced tariff, or before anything came. The S&P was already giving us a double top on the weekly time frame. And you guys know what that means. Anytime you see a chart pattern on the weekly time frame, it's huge. It's huge, because it takes a lot for the market to even give you one candlestick on the weekly time frame. So you see a huge range chart pattern that is massive. All right, so for that to have happened on the weekly time frame, I already knew what I was looking out for in the trade. I was looking to short the S&P, all right, the US 30, S&P, Nasdaq, I believe. Those three, I broke them down here for you this year on YouTube. You can always scroll back and check. This is one of the ways you actually learn better on YouTube from my channel, is that you go back and check my previous trade calls. How have they played out? Do you understand? You go back and check, what made me call out that trade, how did it play out, what role the fundamental analysis. Now let me teach you guys how to backtest like a pro. Okay, so you want to grab, I think I would actually come and make a proper video on how to backtest. Yeah, so you grab your trading device, be it your PC or your tablet or whatever thing you use. Yeah, now if you're trying to backtest a certain strategy, you need to go back in time. Now you don't backtest and leave out fundamental analysis. You backtest and then also check that week on the news platform. Right? Was there any news event that actually acted as a catalyst for the market to move in the way it moved? How did the news interfere with the trade play? All right, that's how you learn. You audit your work. So if you have a winning trade, or you took a trade and you played out for you, or I called out a trade and you played out, you go back and you now look at why did Desmond call out that trade, and then what were the things that he looked out for, and then how did the market react to the fundamental events that happened that period. That's exactly how you learn how to backtest like a pro. That's free game. Give you guys free game now. Free game. All right. So apart from that, yeah, so during that tariff period, I already knew what I was actually looking at for in the market, so it was pretty much easy for me to actually execute the market, execute the trade when the market was actually ready, and I did that. All right, so this is this is the level of mastery that you guys need to get to, where with or without fundamentals, you know exactly what you want from the market. It's as simple as that. You get me? It's always as simple as that. All right, so that's just the honest truth. So those of you guys that like to trade the fundamentals, I hate to break it to you guys, technical analysis always paints the overall narrative. I know you guys make quick money, and you also blow accounts. All right, guess what happens? You blow accounts. NFE blows accounts, FOMC blows accounts, CPI blows accounts. All right, so me personally, I handle funds, so you can't catch me doing all that. You get me? So when, say for instance, we have NFP on Friday, like we did on Friday, all right, I will not be seen executing a new trade on a news day. It's impossible because my entries are too close to stop loss. I'd rather execute a trade maybe on Monday, the market moves in my favor, then there's news event on Thursday or on Friday, or better still, like I'll just wait it out, allow the week pass, then go on, because you really do not want anything to mess up with your trades. Believe me, these news events can come and send the market moving haywire, and you really do not want that. Okay, so I try as much as I can to reduce my propensity for, or my tendency to make errors in the market, and one of the ways I do that is by totally avoiding fundamental analysis. Not that I don't look at Forex Factory or Bloomberg or invest, whatever platform that you use. All right, I do, but I just do not execute trades according to what fundamentals paint. You get me? I have a different thing entirely that drives my trade signals, and that's just that. Okay, so enough about that. So the S&P happened, collapsed, the tariff met my I was in trade, then tariff happened. You get me? Same with Nasdaq, same with the US 30, and that's one thing that you need to learn. The fundamentals will not necessarily change the overall direction. You get me? It always just comes to create volatility. You guys, let me talk about the profit, guys. I've passed phase 1, phase 2. All right, currently in live account, I've actually requested payout already. So I'll post the screenshot this here so you guys can see some around here on my screen. Oops, around here like so. You see, all right, so real life results, as I always say to you guys, the strategy works all the time across whatever thing you're doing. So this answers the question, guys. I got someone asked me a question on Instagram. Oh, Mr. Desmond, does your strategy work on profit? I'm like, yeah, it does. So me being Desmond Samuel, I like to show proof of work. All right, so I went ahead and then I got a 10K account, which is, I believe anybody should be able to afford a 10K account. All right, so around 84 or dollars, roughly $100. So I got one, and then I went ahead and I used the same strategy, which I urge you guys to check the link in the pinned comment to make sure you grab. This is the strategy that works for every single, whether you're a fund manager, you're a private equity guy, or you're a prop firm guy, whatever thing you're doing, you have small accounts, you have big accounts, guys. I have lots of videos that will teach you guys how to actually utilize the strategy to trade, even if you have a $100 account or $50 account. This is something I've done, so I'll teach you guys how to actually go ahead and trade that thing in the right way. Okay, so I'll calm down and teach you guys how to trade prop firm properly. Okay, because I have the result, so now I can teach you how to trade profit properly, guys. I never really like to talk about anything until I experience it myself. Okay, so I took upon myself to go ahead and then try the profit account and see how it actually is, and then I've learned, I've seen the pro, I've seen the cons, I've seen the issues that come with trading proprietary firm, and I know the best ones out there. And in my next video, guys, I'll be teaching you guys a lot more how to actually go about trading profit. You guys have it all wrong, you guys have it all misconstrued. Okay, so I'm here to actually debunk all the errors that you guys have been ingesting on YouTube, all right, and all these crappy things you guys see on internet. I'm here to teach you guys what actually works in the market 24/7. Yeah, because of crypto, you get me? So that's just that. All right, so now this strategy also works for the crypto market, for the synthetic indices. When I used to trade derivative synthetics, you guys have been with me for a while, man. I've traded all manner. What have I not traded? I've traded all manner of things: stock markets, traded gold, traded oil, traded synthetics. I've traded every single thing crypto. I've been there, done all that. You get me? So the strategy is applicable to every single market condition, whatever pair you want to trade, whatever asset, whatever instrument. You have the standard procedure program teaches you the best procedure to do anything in the market. I don't care what anybody has to say. This is best program. Check the link in the pinned comment, guys. Enroll now that is still affordable. I'm gonna bump up the fee very very soon, so grab your own spot. You feel me? All right, so cool. I think I have a few setups to actually share with you guys. So let me just check my screen real quick. So I think I'm actually gonna talk to you guys about a few setups I'm actually looking at. Just I think you guys might like to see this. The pound sterling really gave us a head and shoulders. Like I said to you guys, all right, that I actually was seeing a head and shoulders pattern. And if the market goes ahead to break the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, you already know what's gonna happen. Then same thing with the euro dollar. We've got all these pairs lined up nicely, so it's my duty to actually come on here to let you guys know the best possible setups. Alright, so this is why I urge you guys to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon, guys. Turn on the bell icon as you do subscribe, and then also please like this video so that YouTube can push this video out to as many people as possible that actually need to see more videos like this. You get me? So I think that's just that about that. Once again, guys, my name is Desmond Samuel, so it's time for us to actually head to the chat. So let's go, guys. So the first pair we're gonna be starting with now is the USDCHF. We did actually come to that point of that period I actually spoke to you guys about, although trades were pretty much closed out or break even somewhere around here, like so, but we did actually get that supply level that I actually spoke to you guys about. And this is where, like I said, I'm not really a big fan of the lower time frame trading, all sorts of things, because you see what happened, the levels are not really as solid as you think. All right, I rather stick to the high time frame levels on the daily time frame as much. You get me? So for those of you guys that had an entry somewhere around here, like so, which was this level that actually acted as a supply level here, you see what the market did? Actually moved. I think like it moved in your favor, and then next thing came out to blow you through the roof. All right, so if you took a loss on that, my sincere apologies, because that's what happens in the market. You get me? So you really don't want to be found executing trades inside of here. Okay, you get me? It's always best you put it at levels. So this, as you can see, is a minor level. You get me? So this is a minor level, as you can see, like so it's always best you use your minor levels whilst the market moves towards your key levels. Those minor levels help to guide your trades. Okay, so that's exactly what happens in the market. So as things stand here, for USDCHF, yes, we did actually blow through above the level, and now the market seems to be trading back inside of the level. So you really do not want to be caught up in this crap. So what I would actually advise you to do is allow, because whenever I'm faced with a situation like this, I tend to just let the market do whatever thing it wants to do. You get me? Like I step away from this pair and then allow the market do whatever thing it feels it needs to do. You don't go chasing after the market. It doesn't always work out well for people. You get me? So the market has to come to you, and then you trade it. Now, two things are actually happening here. We do have, of course, we have supply levels. Now, this again, a lesson for you guys. We can have as many supply levels on the chart depending on the time frame and depending on what you're looking out for. You get me? So this is also a supply level here. So the market actually, so for those of you guys who actually went long on the USCHF, because I know that there are lots of you guys that traded fundamentals. If you went long here, this would have been your take profit point. You get me? But as it stands here, I'm not really interested in shorting USDCHF or buying USDCHF. Rather, I'm just gonna box this guy up and allow the USDCHF do whatever thing that he wants to do. Right now, I'm so not interested in it because this pair is actually moving crazy. It's starting to piss me off, and it doesn't really have any clear direction. And you guys know that when it comes to trading, you want the clearest direction possible, and in this case, this guy is doing the exact opposite. He's not giving us anything to work with. So in my own humble opinion, I would actually advise you guys to just skip USDCHF. I just did a review because I actually had my earlier entries in here, then stops were above structure, and then I actually made money from this trade. Okay, now the market came and then took us out for break even, which is very normal. But now in the case that you're looking to enter this trade again, I would advise you to just let it go. Okay, allow USDCHF pass on, let it go. You don't have to stress about it. You get me? So that's just what happened to the trade that we took last time. Now does this change the trend? Of course, it doesn't change the trend. The market is just like I said, indecisive. Okay, this for this pair is quite indecisive. There is no clear way to stay whether this guy is going up or is coming down. We just actually stuck in the range now, starting to move sideways. And you guys know that the trend is your friend. You really want to see the market move and give you a series of high highs and high lows, all lower lows and lower highs. You really don't want to be seeing any sideways movements here. This is the kind of setup that blows accounts. You get me? So allow this guy go, skip it. All right. So let's just talk about other quality pairs. Okay, so now let's talk about USD card. Now USD card seems to be the guy who is actually starting to move well. So let's see the weekly time frame. Let's see how things look on the weekly time frame. You see why I'm not really concerned about going short on USDCHF, because I mean why would I go long on USD card and then go short on USDCHF? It doesn't make any sense. You get me? So this is exactly what's happening. Okay, so what happened was that we hit a base here. This was where the market actually created a very solid demand level and then rallied out of. So this is the reason as to why the market came on there and then halted and then started to reverse to the upside. This is very normal. This is technically normal as well. So this is the weekly time frame as things stand here. We're actually sat at a very solid level, which is right around that 1.34671, like so. And now looking at things from a grand standpoint, you can actually see on the daily time frame that, provided that all things remain equal, this pair is starting to shift to the bullish side of things. Although we have a very solid supply level somewhere around here to look out for, but scaling down to the daily time frame is where you actually see the clearest double or triple bottom that happened, that actually sends USDCAD moving the opposite direction. Now in this case, this is exactly what it is here. So you can see that this was that range play, and you guys know that whenever the market fails to give a higher high or a higher low, what I always advise you guys to do is go ahead and box that guy nicely. Okay, box the market nicely. Then whatever direction the market breaks out into is where you really want to trade into. In this case, now it broke out to the upside, and you can see that this is just a linear move, pull back for a possible continuation to the upside. So going into next week here, what am I actually looking at for is very simple. So I need the market to come into 1.37309. All right, give me a very beautiful bounce method on maybe on the 4 hour time frame or thereabout. Give me a very decent bounce method, or if I do see a wave pattern, but in this case it doesn't look like we're going to be getting any wave pattern because market just fell right out of the sky. So now in this case here, what we use is a strategy called the bounce method, which is something I teach in the mentorship program. We need to see market give us a bounce method, a bounce off of the 1.37309 4 hour engulfing candle, bounce off of there, and then we're actually good to go. So buy this guy. First take profit will always be right around the recent high. Then subsequently you should see this guy blow through all the way to 1.39915, all things being equal. So I do have a very beautiful setup, looking nice and clean on the Aussie. Let me just get rid of all of these things. Okay, so now AUDUSD in a nutshell has some room to the downside, okay, because things are starting to shift now. I was actually expecting the Feds to cut rates, but they didn't cut rates, and this is why again you cannot analyze fundamentals. You get me? So now remember that we actually had an impulsive run. Okay, from here was pretty much linear. Okay, until we got to this point and then started to reverse. So now technically speaking, you guys already know that the overall trend for this guy is still bearish. Okay, judging from the weekly and then the monthly time frame. So as things stand here, this was a correction of this entire impulsive drop. So I will not be surprised to see the Aussie dollar start to collapse nicely, going into next week, because this is looking like a real huge Fibonacci play. Like, so if we do closely, so the market is currently start at the 0.618 and then 0.5. So what we need to get on to do is go on the daily time frame. Now for those of you guys that who are actually comfortable trading this range, because this is still a range play, to be honest. So what I can identify is a very simple. So this is a chart pattern here, and I always say to you guys that the market tends to move back and correct to at least half of the length of the entire length of the chart pattern, which always is a range. In this case here, this is a triple top here, so the market is technically going to come back into 0.65144. So once you see a decent bounce off of there, guys, I'm shorting this guy back all the way down to probably, let me look left, all the way back to 0.63491, in the event that this supply level somewhere around here there actually holds, because this is also a Fibonacci play. You get me? Let me show you guys how things look on the 4 hour time frame. So when you find the opportunity to execute the trade, it's a very simple thing, very easy. You have a supply level here, allow the market pull back into that region, then short the guy all the way back down. So my targets for Aussie dollar is 0.63546. That's going into the next week. All right, so all things being equal, we should see this guy, provided that this supply level holds here, we would definitely see the Aussie, melt all the way back down. Now for the euro dollar, which happens to be a very a pretty much faster pair compared to the rest of the pairs, so we did actually give a double top here. So again, instead of the market to continue high, actually came on here and then gave us head, shoulder, shoulder, then reversed, which is my minor for our time from head, shoulder. So this is what happened. Neckline has been broken. Now you guys know that once you break a neckline here, the market has to move to the tune of the total amount of pips accumulated in that range. So in that case here, measuring from the very tip here all the way to this point, once you measure the length from here to here, okay, once you clear out, that means Euro USD has some 244 pips to give us approximately. You get me? And that puts us right at the 1.1 3343 region, around the like. So that's exactly what we're actually working with, going into next week. All right, so allow the market give an entry confirmation, a 4 hour bounce in this case, because you can't really use a counter trend because you didn't get the opportunity to flag, but allow the market pull back and flag a bit, then you can now enter. Or if a type who likes to be a bit aggressive, you can go with the 4 hour bounce. Okay, so first step take profit will be 1.13914. Then subsequently, this guy melt all the way to 1.13338. All right, so the next one now will be the pound sterling. So the pound sterling also has a similar structure to that of the euro dollar. So as you can see, like, so the market has already gone ahead to give us a very beautiful chart pattern play on the daily time frame. This is head, shoulder, shoulder. Neckline's been broken. And you guys always know what happens once you clear neckline. And now the reason as to why the market melted from this point here, I tell you what happens. So go on the weekly time frame, okay? Like I said, if you guys don't understand something that the market is doing, just go one time frame higher, even two if possible. You get me? So now in this case here, all right, so now in this case here, if you look closely, we had a supply level here that the market got to and then started to melt. Okay, so this is very, very normal. Okay, this is totally normal. Now in this case, the market has given us a confirmation that it wants to go to the downside. So what you simply need to do is go with the flow. All right, do not try to change. You cannot change the trend. All right, so go with the flow, and the next available low for this pound sterling is all the way down at 1.27246. All right, so what you simply need to do is very simple. Once you get to the 4 hour time frame, like so, remember we already have a daily time frame, chart pattern which has held nicely, and then it has actually gonna have to break the neckline. So looking at this trend line, like so, we are actually out of the bullish trend. As you can see, for the moment we are temporarily out of the bullish trend. So this is how things look. Okay, so moving into the next week, for me to actually execute a trade on this guy here, what I simply need to do is very simple. Come on here, like so, look at this base. All right, look at this base, like so. That's around the neckline. You get me? So why I need to do is very simple. Allow the market pull back into 1.33770. Once I see a nice pullback there, I'll shut this guy all the way down. My prime target for the GBPUSD moving on would be the recent my first level target will be this guy, and then once we clear that space here, we got space all the way down. Okay, you got space all the way down, and you guys know that one of the things we love most in the market is space. You got space all the way down to 1.27600. All things being equal, provided that the market actually really wants to drop, you will most likely see this guy collapse all the way to 1.27200. All right, so that's that about that. And then last but not the least, the actual guy causing this shenanigans and chaos in the market is the DXY. Okay, so the DXY had a shift in some form of a shift in trend. I won't say shift in structure or so. The XY kind of like had a slight shift, as you can see, like so. Now this is this is the reason as to why I'm telling you guys that it's a bit temporary, because I can see that we are still trading below this key level at which is the blue level, and this literally means that anything is possible. You get me? Anything could happen. You could actually see this guy, drop all the way down or reverse, and start heading all the way up. You get me? So long story short, for the DXY, I will not be surprised to see the dollar, start to shift to the upside a bit. Maybe targeting all these highs here. You get me? This high or this other high. It's very, very possible. But provided that we actually remain below this blue bar here, I'm telling you that this whole volatility, could be, this whole move could be temporary. You feel me? So because we're actually back in the range, but if you look closely, we started to put a higher low from here. So this is a higher low from this other low. So this is starting to give us some form of hint that that the market wants to actually shift. But provided that the market remains below this blue bar here, there's every tendency that we could actually drop all the way back down. You get me? So this is why the market moved the way it moved, because of the dollar index. You feel me? Okay, so I believe I pretty much covered all the relevant pairs at this moment, guys. If anything comes up, guys, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so that's just that about that. All right, guys. So thank you so much for sticking to the end. Once again, guys, my name is Desmond Samuel. So those are the pairs I'm actually looking at for at the moment. Currently, I got my eyes, like I said, the pound sterling, Aussie dollar. I'm not necessarily gold. Gold is just within a range. So I got all these pairs lining up nicely for the rest of the quarter, guys. This is how you end the quarter with a bang. It's like any quarter with a bang. You need to literally lock in this period. I don't know what you guys are doing. Lock in. You need to lock in and make some money. You need to lock in and make some money. Print some bread. Print some bread. Lock in, guys. See, the market is set up to give us sweet bread, bro. There's money in the market this period, man. What are you doing? Lock in, for real. All right, enough of the yaps. All right, so guys, like I said, man, the market has a lot of money to give us this period. All you need to do is lock in, and please lock in intentionally. Okay, focus on the dollar-based pairs. Focus on the dollar based. Leave all these other pairs around. Focus on the dollar-based pairs. Look at what has enough volume and liquidity, and in this case, is dollar-based pairs. All right, focus on the dollar-based pairs, and yep. So if you got any questions, guys, let me know in the comment sections, guys. The comments is digit open. I get the emails of every single thing you ask me for. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you got any pairs that you actually like me to talk about, guys, the comments is open to all. Okay, it's open to all. I got people from all over the world. Let me know what country you're watching this from, and then how this video has helped you. And then also, guys, be sure to check out every link you need is in the pinned comment. Link to my mentorship program, link to the Telegram community where I send my trade calls. All these things are there. Be sure to help yourselves. Okay, as I'm here to help you guys. Okay, so once again, guys, my name is Desmond Samuel. Thank you so much for staying through to the end. It's always amazing to come on here and then share my thoughts and my perspective, with you guys. I actually enjoy doing this. Okay, so to just support me, guys, just subscribe to the channel and then leave a like so that YouTube can push these videos as many people as possible. You get me? Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have you guys on here, and I'll catch you guys in my subsequent videos. For now, trade safe, apply proper risk management, and please be good. All right, peace out.